All right, let's go with rule number 1. Commas to set off introductory words, phrases, and clauses. So you use commas after an introduction in a sentence, and the introduction can be just one word, it can be a phrase, or it can be a clause. So let's look at some examples to make it more clear to you. Instead, comma, my mom decided to sell her van. So this is an example of an introductory word. And if you forget the comma after an introductory word, it's probably the least important mistake you can make. But try to remember to put a comma when you have something like finally, instead, those type of words. This one uses a phrase. Late that night, comma, the news show reported the presidential election results. Late that night is a phrase. It introduces the time for the rest of the sentence, and so it gets a comma right after it. And here's my third example. Since the writer's workshop did not meet last night, comma, Lauren spent the evening in the library. So this is a dependent clause that is starting off the sentence, and so you put a comma after it. Notice that sometimes the clause can be as long, if not longer, than the actual root part of the sentence. All right, so now is a good time to pause the video, and during the pause, go to the worksheet and complete practice 1. Now practice 1, each one has to be corrected, but just remember that some of the other practices coming up, there may be a sentence that's actually correct. So go ahead and take a few moments and do practice 1. All right, let's look at practice 1 and see how you did. Reluctantly, the instructor agreed to postpone the test. The comma should go after reluctantly. Number 2. When Kim plays video games, she shuts out the rest of the world. The comma should go after games. Practice number 3. During the 7th inning stretch, Harry Carey led fans in Take Me Out to the Ball Game. The comma should go after stretch. In fact, the car has had very few problems. The comma should go after in fact. And finally, for number 5, yawning loudly, Eric said, "Is it morning already?" And the comma should go after loudly. Now this is one of the easier ones to master, so I expect that this one will be one that you can find in your own writing and self-correct pretty easily.